Welcome to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. This is not your typical financial radio show. As a licensed CPA, insurance agent, and investment advisory representative, Chris coaches his clients on a holistic view of financial well-being with an objective of providing a complete financial strategy to fund life's goals. Chris is here to guide you down the path to the financial serenity you deserve. Now, here's Chris Cooper.
All right, good morning. It is Sunday once more, and it is the holiday week finally here. We are not putting up Christmas trees just yet. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and we want to spend a little bit of time talking about people we care about. Thanksgiving, it's a time for thanks. It's a time for family. It's a time for fun with our family. So in studio with us today, we've got my special friends, Meghan and Lisa with the Avalon Park Independent Living Community. How are you, ladies?
Very good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. So you have a beautiful community right in my backyard. And so I'm excited to be able to be a part of that community as well, because you guys do amazing things and really change some of the different personas and thought processes that go into, independent living is very different than what people think of with, elderly homes, if you will, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about that to set off set it right out the gate here. What are you guys all about?
Go ahead. Okay. So I first of all, it's locally owned and locally operated.
That's a big difference, isn't it?
Huge. It's so
Yeah.
different. And so we're able to make changes. People come to us, whatever they want. We're yes people. We like to say we're yes people.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little bit different. They are able to come in, have a regular apartment, full-size kitchen, pretty much do whatever they want to do
Yeah.
anytime they want to do it. So meals are included, activities are included, transportation is included. They don't have to worry about utilities. They don't have to worry about maintaining a house any longer.
Yep.
So it's all the things that, like going on a cruise ship and not having to have any worries.
Life is
Everything is there.
easy.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
Makes life
Well, and you mentioned apartment. And the other thing that I think is interesting is you take the thoughts of residents into consideration and can do things. And that's part of that non-corporate feel,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
That's a
we're
big
resident
deal.
focused.
Yeah.
Resident focused. Whenever they ask for something, whenever they need something, they come to us and they just ask us for it.
Yeah.
And like I've always said, if it's sensible, then we can typically do it, and we can do it fairly quickly, because they're not asking for, the moon. They're just asking for things to help them day to day
Sure.
and to make life easier and happier. And why wouldn't we want to do that?
Right. Absolutely. And some of the things are just, you want to make sure people are well taken care of in your community, but also some of it's things that encourage socialization and fun.
It's a
Absolutely.
big deal.
So you guys have a lot of events.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about some of the different things that you have that are fun.
Well, we get happy hour every Friday.
Nice.
We have people that come in, entertainers that come in, but we
Okay.
also go out on Wednesday. So those are the excursion days. So
Okay.
go to the winery, or just go out to lunch, or go to the casino, or
Very
go to
nice.
the Fox, whatever they're
Josephine's tea
asking
room.
for.
The big deal.
What is it?
Josephine's tea room.
Yeah, that
loved
was
it.
nice. Or they went to Fast Eddie's.
Yeah.
We had
Oh,
two
wow.
buses of folks who went to Fast Eddie's. So that was pretty fun. So if they ask to do it, then we just get it on the calendar, and we have a lot of support and a lot of team that can
Yeah.
make it happen.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I've never been to Fast Eddie's on a Wednesday before. I might have to hop on the bus next time.
It's
You're
fun.
welcome.
I mean, that sounds a lot more fun than going on the busy weekend.
Yeah, and we ask
know?
families and friends, if you guys want to do anything, come for any of our events or activities, you're more than welcome. So we have a lot of good relationships with the families too, because they're in our building and they enjoy it, and they come for dinner, and we have really good food. So we encourage that support and that family environment. It
Yeah.
really does feel like that whenever you're there.
Well, and every time I walk in the lobby, there's always something going on.
Always.
I mean, there is a lot of activity. And I think people don't understand the importance that has. People, when we see our loved ones start to need some assistance, they think that, oh my gosh, they're just going to be stuck in this hotel room all the time. And that's not the case.
And it doesn't feel like they're going into, when families come to visit, it doesn't feel like they're going into a senior living. It feels like they're going into a really nice home.
Yeah.
And so I think it's more welcoming, and the grandkids come. We see more family coming with the grandkids than I've ever seen in other communities. And I think it just feels like home. It feels so comfortable.
Yeah.
The food's really good, so people love to come and have brunch with us or have dinner with us. Have a glass of wine or a mimosa. It feels like home.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable.
And that's important because you want your residents to feel like they're moving into their home that they're proud of. And that helps. And then the socialization helps as well.
Another thing that's really cool about our community is the people that live there. They're so welcoming.
Yeah.
They're not cliquish. Honestly, they want to meet you. They want to teach you the ways of Avalon Park. They're so inclusive. They're just,
Yeah, they are.
they're so great.
We prepare new people like everybody's going to want to come meet you. You're not going to be isolated. You're not going to have to eat your lunch in a bathroom because, you don't know anybody.
You're not the new kid
Not
at
high
school, right?
They love to like find out who you are, what's your story, help integrate you, find out what your hobbies and your interests are, and find other residents that they know very intimately and say, okay, you should meet with Pam. She loves to crochet, or hang out with George. He's got a great story. He loves football. He loves Auburn University.
Yeah, and he's a storyteller, the greatest storyteller.
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, you can get some good stories. There's a generation thing that just we've lost storytelling in this society right now, right? So when you get to sit down with folks that can still tell great stories, it's wonderful.
It fills our cup.
Yeah.
It makes our hearts so happy.
Yeah.
We laugh a lot, but I always say we cry too. Yeah. Because we get really close to our
Of
residents,
course.
but we laugh all day long, and they're just so amazing. They make us smile.
Yeah. So when you are in an independent living community, it's different than what people assume of care needs as we get older, right? Because we're going to need assistance, and it's not always the most comfortable conversation to have. I have a lot of uncomfortable conversations. It's part of what I do. And I know you guys do too. Everyone feels like they want to stay independent. They want to stay at home. They want their loved ones to be taken care of. And, there's a stigma that says, hey, mom's not going to want to move out of home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you guys see that.
Mhm.
How do you guys help overcome that? And I think part of it is just your atmosphere, of course, but
Yeah, I think that's part of it. It's also like, how much isolation are they really experiencing?
yeah.
And when they come to visit and they take the tour and they're like, oh my gosh, this was so nice. I love talking with that person or whoever it was on the elevator and
Yeah.
hearing their story. They don't realize that they were isolated and they didn't have anyone to talk to. And that's such a huge thing.
It
So,
is.
like when we can kind of touch that and say, how much, one of the things that our owner, he liked to ask was, who are you having dinner with tonight? And so it was a question that was like very eye-opening because I don't have any plans. I'm going to eat with anybody.
Right.
He's like, who did you have dinner with last night? Didn't have anyone over last night either. Those are really eye-opening things. So I think that's one of the questions that we can ask to gauge, like, how involved are you with having people like in your presence?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that helps people understand, this could be really something really beneficial for everybody
Absolutely.
by having that.
Yeah, and I think it takes the guilt off the children too, because a lot of times it's the sandwich generation and they have so many things going on themselves, but they're
Mhm.
definitely pulled between their kids and their parents.
Right.
So just to have that extra support with all the people around.
Mhm.
And, we will do all the things like Meghan said, we're yes people. So instead of mom calling you to say, I can't figure out how to turn my TV off, or my password's not working, or my phone's not working, all of those things, we take care of that. So now whenever you come to visit mom or you call and talk to mom, she's going to talk to you about the new friends that she has, or the
Yeah.
games that she played, or the things that she's looking forward to tomorrow. Or
And
the
they're probably
people
going to get to meet them as well
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
come to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be the daughter. Don't be Geek Squad, and don't be the transportator.
Yeah, she's Geek
transportation
Squad.
system.
She can do it all.
Nice.
I love tech.
Yeah, she's so good at it.
Well, and we're social characters.
Yeah.
We are, that's who we are. Human beings were meant to be around human beings. We're not meant to be in isolation. And I think that people forget about that, and that draws you down and makes you more negative, and that can affect your health and your
Mhm.
well-being. And quite frankly, your lifespan, right? Because it's just not normal. And
Yeah.
we lose track of that. And just a simple little thing about that human involvement and that engagement, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It's really
Do
important.
you remember? It was like 2 days ago. One of the daughters came into her office, and she and I were chatting about something. I can't
Mm.
remember. And her mom, the daughter said, "My mom, when my mom and dad first moved in here, we thought that dad was going to have to like get a scooter because he was not as mobile."
Yeah.
And she was trying to like force, like not force, but just say, you know what, you can do this, Dad. You can get up and do all these things. And I think he was more resistant because he didn't think he could.
Sure.
But then after being in the community for how long they've been there, a month,
Been there a month, a little over a month.
a little over a month, and he's walking down the hallways all by himself. He's getting in and out of the chairs all by himself. No issues, no
That's
falls,
awesome.
nothing. But it's just like getting into the community, walking, not just staying from the bed to the couch, the bed
Yeah.
to the couch, to the kitchen table. You know, it was so much more beneficial for him. He's
Sure.
not having to decline physically,
Yeah.
which then it gets mental. And
Physical leads to mental
Mhm.
decline.
it does.
got it.
Right. And then
Absolutely.
it just kind of continues to progress from there.
Yeah.
And that back to the socialization thing. When I go to the gym, I go to the gym when I know that there's going to be other people there. Because when the other people are there, it's a more engaging atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm going to be held accountable. And I'm not really held accountable. No one's coming to
No.
me and saying, hey, you should be lifting more.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But they are like, hey, cheering me on or whatever if they notice I'm struggling. And they're like, hey, where were you yesterday?
Or
What
just a
gives?
smile.
Right? Just
Just
even
a
just a
smile.
simple smile,
Yeah.
being there with somebody,
Right.
it makes a difference. And then all of a sudden you start getting more
Yeah.
physical, right?
Mhm.
I've never been to a situation where I like, I don't feel like going to the gym today, but then I've never regretted being there,
Yeah.
Right.
right? It's always good. So it makes sense.
She thought she was gonna like hear no stories from her dad. Like he would be the one that would be hanging out in the apartment.
Yeah.
And then when they started eating in the dining room, like for dinner, he'd be like, "Oh, that's George and that's John," and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's really like getting out there and meeting people
Yeah.
and like having a good time." She felt so good about having her parents live there.
That
That's awesome.
conversation was so good.
It was. It's very. It makes you feel really good about what we're doing.
Yeah.
But by providing just this really wonderful atmosphere and community culture, Kevin, the owner, he also says, I'm going to make a promise.
Mm.
You're going to like us and we're going to love you.
Oh,
And
It's so true.
true. We love them. We love them.
that's amazing.
And
Yeah.
a lot of them love us too.
Oh, yeah.
We've made
love.
them. We've
That's right.
really done
Yeah. Hold food back until so,
Yeah.
you better
You're
say
gonna
nice
love it.
You're
things.
going to love
You're gonna
Well,
love it.
and you do hear in seriousness, you do hear horror stories
You do,
about
sure.
that kind of stuff within the elder community, unfortunately. And it gives good communities, unfortunately, a bad rap at times. And there's this whole stigma that unfortunately now you have to overcome. And it's really easy to overcome it. You just got to be yourselves.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's pretty easy to do, fortunately, but why do you have to do that to begin with? It's because unfortunately some places aren't as nice.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that people are open-minded whenever they come visit us, because if they weren't, then it would be a lot harder task to, let's see where this could lead us. But luckily, I think you feel it whenever you walk in, and then you know that you don't feel like that your parents are going to be hurt or taken advantage of or all those things,
Yeah.
because they'll tell you, for one. They would tell you because they love to visit, and they love to tell you just the things that are going on, the things that they're doing. They say, I love you whenever you walk out the door to all of us.
Yeah.
Like they're just open, and they're just happy to be there. So
Well, it makes a difference when it's the place you love to be, right? You're
Yeah.
happy and you're comfortable. And
Yeah.
That makes a big difference. And it does. It changes everything, your health, your attitude. And now all of a sudden, maybe a lot of times when we need assistance as we get older, that's a progressive type of thing. Right?
Yeah.
You progress maybe from an independent living, potentially needing some additional assistance, potentially skilled care, and then potentially memory care. Well, every step gets a little bit more expensive because the
Mhm.
care needs shift, right? But if you can do these things early and create some of that excitement and that energy and that socialization, maybe you don't have to have that progression the same level.
We've
Does that
seen
make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it. Absolutely.
it's nice that we have apartments that are independent living apartments, but as folks age, a lot of times we get less healthy
Sure.
whenever we age. So if they need any assisted living or if they need any assisted services, then they can get those services in their own apartment,
Right.
and they can stay in their independent living apartment and get services to help them with if they need showers or if they need medication or if those, so they don't have to move to a higher level of care. That's our hopes, is that people can stay with us forever.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not always possible because there's some progression, but
It's not always possible.
when you
but
do some of these things, because a lot of times what happens is families, we tend to delay making these decisions. We put it off for far too long because we want our loved ones and we want ourselves. We want ourselves we want to have control,
Mhm.
right? Don't you guys do too? We are control freaks. I'm especially a control freak. Stacey will hear this. She's like, yeah, he
not.
is. No,
No, I'm not.
I don't know. It didn't look like that. I think I saw a little eye wink there. But even everyone is, even if you're not, right? I know people call me a control freak, so I get it, right? It's part of what I do too. But everyone has a little bit of that. And so we want our own control, and we want our loved ones to have control. And we always feel like when you lose that inability to have control over your own livelihood, it changes, you know? And so we want to make sure we have that ability. And that's why I think it's so hard to talk about, especially with our parents. You know?
It makes it more real.
It does. So we tend to put these conversations off. And the longer you put these conversations off, healthcare issues, social anxiety, these things don't go away with time. They get worse.
Yeah.
So I think that getting people to understand that there is a difference, there is an option that gets some of those good things going in people's lives, which does create a big difference.
Yeah.
So
there was, I have so many stories. There was one particular one. I had a gentleman in my car yesterday, taking him to an appointment. And he said, you know, a year ago when we were here, I would have never thought that we would have made this move. And it would have been such like a bad thing for them not to make the move. They should have been here a year ago. But he just loved it. He said it just exceeded all of his expectations. And he never could have thought that this would be what, you know, it actually is for him and his wife. Those little things are just amazing.
absolutely.
But then what would it have been like? Sitting at home, you know, and then possibly progressing into, you know, not being able to move as much, not the socialization, so many things.
Well, sedentary leads to mobility issues.
Yeah.
We need to be moving, and that helps us stay healthy. It doesn't have to be, you know, a lot of stuff. You don't have to go on runs all the time. No, just walking around, getting up, staying active. It's a big deal.
It literally, you can see physical change when people move in, because we opened during COVID and they had been isolated. I mean, a lot of residents have been isolated, but just face it, they're alone a lot anyways at this age. So you could actually see their physical change after they get good food and just that social interaction. You could see them brighten up.
Gaining a little more weight.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. All right. So we have a perfect segue. We're going to talk a little bit about the food. I know you guys are really proud of your chef, right? And so this is another stigma people think about with, you know, elder care communities. Like, you know, the food's not great, blah, 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 blah. I feel like that's different. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
Yeah. It's the food's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
The food is good, and the residents have a say in it. They get to meet with the chef, and they could actually meet with him as often as they want to. But there's a set time every month that our executive director, Meghan, and our chef, they get together, and it's a food committee. But it's just anybody who wants to talk about the food comes downstairs. They can share their personal recipes. They can tell the chef what they like, what they don't like, and it is listened to, it's heard, and the changes are made immediately.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's part of the reason the food's good, because you take personal recipes of all these residents who have all these family secrets, and you take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Wow.
Louise brought in a chicken and rice recipe that she wanted to have done, and told all of her friends that, you know, this Thursday it's her chicken and rice recipe that was going to be on the menu. And then, so of course, when we're eating it, everyone's like, is this how you made it? Louise is like, I think you made it better.
Nice. I was going to say, did he nail it? He did.
it.
All right. That's awesome.
How cool is that? How cool is
Really
that?
cool.
Yeah. And then we do a birthday dinner. So like every other month, we'll do like prime rib, or we'll do the braised short ribs.
Nice.
It's their favorite stuff.
Lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque. They love the lobster bisque. And then, you know, we celebrate everybody's birthday for the month with this wonderful meal. And it's really elevated food that's available. They can do scallops on some of these nights, but then they can also do like the home like style food, like the meatloaf and the pot roast.
And they love that too.
Yeah.
Love it. And
Well, I need a reservation. I need to just start taking our anniversary, you know, come here instead. So sounds great.
Got a reservation at Avalon
Yeah,
Park, honey. Let's
that's
go.
perfect.
Have a glass of wine with
I know.
dinner.
Well, I could just hop on my golf cart too.
That's
so
right.
Even better, you know. Not bad.
so close. Yeah.
Well, what I noticed also is I walked in and I happened to just be in the area and was coming in to chat with you guys on Veterans Day.
Yes.
And walking in, there was like people with, muskets in hand and all this stuff. I'm going, what in the heck did I just miss here? And we were meeting at like 2 p.m. or something like that. I can't remember the exact time, but you were like, I don't know exactly when I'll be able to be somewhere between 2 and 2:15. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's weird that it's not exact, but whatever. And then all of a sudden I see what was going on. I'm like, yeah, I missed something that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you guys do some special events on some holidays and occasions too.
Oh yeah. There's
always special.
So what was this? So you guys did,
Veterans Day.
yeah. So on Veterans Day, what did you guys do?
It was a really beautiful ceremony. It was probably the best one that we've put on so far.
Yeah.
But they had one of the sons of the Revolutionary War. That was the gentleman with the musket.
Uh-huh.
And he was in his full gear, like the same clothing that they wore in that
Yeah.
war. And then we had some people that were they created their own patriotic songs and poems. We have, I think there's about 30 different veterans, all branches.
Yeah.
We celebrated every single one of them. And the whole place was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal that we did that event.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
It was awesome. The second I saw a smile on my face right away, I was very, very glad that I was able to pop in on Veterans Day and, see all that, the service and everything. And just the way that the ceremony was. It's beautiful.
Yeah, our activity group, the Mark and Zeta, they do such a fantastic job of putting these programs together. So it's not like they're very purposeful type of activities. So they'll talk about like different topics. Maybe it's a war that they wanted to talk about, and they'll put together this lecture and they'll come up with it and they work together and they get the big screen down and it's just very personalized. It doesn't feel juvenile or I think some places can do that.
Sure.
Where the topics aren't so interesting that the residents will want to come down for it.
Right.
It's just something to be on a calendar.
Yeah.
Our calendar is definitely purposeful and meaningful.
I love that.
And come up with it.
Yeah, there's a lot that they do come up with. The skits, I mean, it can be funny. I mean, we've had talent shows
Oh boy.
with our residents.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then Mark did what's it called when you do the burn, the comedy with the what's it called?
Oh, a roast.
Yes. So
Yeah.
they did a roast. And so he got permission from all the residents. And we all,
My goodness.
residents are so funny. And we all have our own little things that are like funny and weird. Well, he asked permission to get it and they loved it. They thought it was hysterical because everyone knows how everyone is.
Sure.
So it was a lot
To
of
give
fun.
you an idea of how awesome Mark is, he taught, I mean, there's lots of handfuls of people that go for blackjack and Texas Hold'em.
Uh-huh.
We play that twice a week. And he started with a smaller group. And we have a lot of men at our community too. So we thought that would encourage them to come,
Sure.
which it has, but a lot of women love it too.
Yeah.
So it's really for everyone. He's trying to teach all of us how to do it. But
Nice.
I mean, but that's just how he is.
Yeah.
And so it makes it even more fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They entered the Golden Games for the Texas
I
Hold'em.
love that story.
And one of the ladies that lives in our building is a retired nun. She won second place
All right.
after he taught her how to play Texas Hold'em.
Fantastic.
And she's amazing.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah. That poker face is probably pretty good.
It was so
It
good.
is.
And they said, "Well, why are you wearing the Are you wearing the sunglasses to like cover your poker face?" She's like, "No, the lights are just so bright in here."
I love
It was
her.
so good.
That's fantastic.
They'll be on the bus, like going to Kohl's or Walmart or the grocery store. We take them everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere they want to go, we take them. And she's like, "I'm only going to go if we're back by 11:15 because Texas Hold'em starts at 11:15.
Nice.
You're going to be back by 11 o'clock, I promise."
That's
so good.
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's great. It's
Wow.
Mm.
All right. See, I'm terrible at Hold'em. I don't have patience. So, gosh, there's going to be people that are going to now, I'm going to come in and you guys, they're going to all invite me to play. 'Cause
Yeah,
they know
you're
I'm
going to
gonna
lose your dollar.
Oh, it's going to be bad. Yeah. And it's about the principle, right? It's you lost. It's not the money. It's the principle of that. So I'm terrible at it because I'm not patient enough. And then so I'll lose and I'll have to sit there and I'm like, now what? How do
Yeah.
you do that? It's just now I'm in the corner just by myself. It's terrible. So I don't play Hold'em. That's why. So anyway, all right. So one of the things when we think about our loved ones and we think, you know what, maybe this isn't so bad. What are the things that we should be looking at with our loved ones to say, hey, maybe it is time to start looking at communities and looking at, paying attention to these signs, because there are signs that our loved ones do need some help.
Mhm.
And maybe we need to start encouraging that further conversation. So what are some of those signs that you think that people need to look for?
I think they're going to a lot of folks will see their parents over the holidays.
Mhm.
So they're going to see how mom's doing as far as her walking, as far as the house. Is she keeping up the house? Are they keeping up the house?
Mhm.
Does it seem like she's getting out very much? Is it just that only conversation is happening whenever family comes over, and who knows how often that is?
Sure.
So, just, I think, kind of just open the door and let her know, or let them know that life could be easier and it's not that hard to transition into it, and just have an open conversation, and maybe just go and see a couple places and see what it's all about, because it's not a scary hospital hallway that's,
Mhm.
scary music
That's
in
what
the
is
background.
in everyone's head.
And that's what
They all think
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
And I think some, and one of the other things I think is like when a spouse passes away,
Yeah.
and then the other person is at home by themselves, and then the loneliness.
hmm
And I think it's how many times are they calling you on the phone to talk about nothing?
Right.
How many times are they calling you to come over to check on something in the house that they used to be able to do really, really well, and
Mhm.
Sure.
be very autonomous in their home? How much are you now coming over to help out? Those are a lot of the reasons why we find that the
Right.
children are like, okay, I think it's time that we make a decision here and make a move,
Yeah.
because I can't keep coming over here every single day. I've got a full-time job, I've got kids in sports.
Right.
So that's another indicator too, or bills that aren't getting paid.
Yep.
Right.
That's
The
another
mailbox
one.
is full because mom or dad is too scared to walk out to the mailbox and get their mail anymore.
Sure.
And that's something that should be pretty easy. But if you're nervous about falling or slipping or any of those things, then
Well, then
that's
obviously
scary.
that is one of them too. If you're starting to see a lot of falling and
Mhm.
trouble moving around from that perspective too, that mobility
Mhm.
side of things, right?
Or if they're losing weight, because I've literally
Yes.
heard from people that they're eating out of a can.
Mm.
And they're microwaving something every day, or they're just eating something very small because it's easy and because there's only one of them now.
Sure.
I mean, we do have a lot of couples in our community, which is really nice, but we have a lot of folks who are widowed, and it's harder to do things, or not as fun to cook
Right.
whenever you're just by yourself, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
I think another thing too, and it kind of goes with like the falls, because medication management becomes like a reason why sometimes people are starting to have falls.
Sure.
They're not taking their heart
And they don't even
medication
know that's
properly.
the
They
problem.
have no
Yeah.
idea. So like looking at their med boxes and like seeing, okay, it's Wednesday, but Tuesday's pills are still in there.
Right.
Are they really watching this closely?
Yeah.
Did they get too busy with something else, or just not able to maintain everything, that now they're putting their medication on the back burner?
Yep.
That's a really good point, and it's not as obvious. So that's what I would say to people. Look at your parents' pill, how they have it organized, their pill bottle, or their, what is it, if you have to have like a 7-day,
like a weekly manager.
the weekly man.
Yeah.
Look at that and see if they're taking their medication properly, because sometimes that's a big indication that things are going a little sideways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then kind of goes to like the services that we provide too. So if we start to see someone, so we know these residents very, very intimately. They've got, we're creatures of habit. We start to see like a little changes, and we're like, okay, let's do a little bit closer check and see what's going on here.
Right.
Possibly their gait is off, how they're walking, or they're saying some things that don't kind of make sense, like they used to be a week
Mhm.
ago. So we can say, okay, maybe we should do a little checkup and have our home health company come in,
Right.
do an assessment, and then we learn, okay, they're not taking their medication. So now we're going to have a licensed person come into their apartment, set up their medication for them, make sure they're getting it properly, so we can kind of prevent those things from happening later on down the road.
Which again gets back to, now you are going to be able to be more self-sufficient
Mhm.
for a longer period of time and enjoy the life that you've really
Yeah,
been able to live thus far in a more social atmosphere. Right.
absolutely.
So, all right. So now we've noticed these things in our loved ones, and now we're going, now it's that next step, right? Do you encourage people to have that next step as a conversation with mom, dad, or do you say, you know what, maybe some people should come see you guys and tour your community, just them, without mom, dad? What do you guys think? I'm sure it goes both ways,
I
right?
would say probably without them, because I would encourage people to look at multiple places.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to drag mom and dad to multiple places. So go narrow it down for them.
Sure.
Sometimes people might like something different. So if they're tired and if they've been falling, you don't want to drag them around. So
Right.
come check it out yourself, and then you'll be excited about the things that you see.
It changes
and
your
then
perception.
You'll be able to
Yeah.
explain it with that excitement and
Yeah.
encourage them to come check it out and
Yeah.
have dinner and meet the people. You can't not meet them because they will come over and talk to you no matter what.
I love
And
it.
They'll come find you.
Yeah, they'll come find you, and that just makes it even more real.
Right.
Like these are the people that you'll be living with, and look how kind they are.
Right.
And Lisa's done such a great job of like working with different people in the community. We've got some preferred people like a moving company, someone that can help pack, really a white glove turnkey service if you wanted to. We've got
Yeah.
real estate people that we like to refer to.
Yeah.
Just anything that they would need to make this as simple and easy as possible.
Yeah.
We've got those people in line.
It makes a big difference.
It does. And
Yeah.
we did this a talk when we were first opening up the community, and we brought in probably 50 people came and joined us for it. And it was the number one thing that makes people stay at home and not make the move is the pressure of everything that they're going to have to do to get to the senior living community.
Yeah.
Packing. What are they going to get rid of? How
Right.
can they even think about getting rid of stuff that, they hold so dear? There's memories tied to it. It's so like debilitating. They're going to put that stop up.
Right.
So being able to talk with us without the parents there and kind
Helps.
of form a plan
Yeah.
and make it easy for the kids to make this happen. I think that's also a really big step
It
that we
is.
can help with.
It is. And then the other thing that always comes up, right, is, well, gosh, this is really great, but I don't know if we can afford it. Right. And then the financial side has to be considered. And we have to have these complicated conversations. That's why I encourage people to have these complicated conversations, because you've got to have them. They need to be had, and you want to do it on your own terms. You want to do it when you can make these decisions. And quite frankly, you as an individual, I don't really want my kids to make my decisions for me either. They can help, of course, but I'd much rather be able to have that conversation myself with my children because I've already had that plan, right? I always encourage people to plan in advance, have those complicated conversations, including the financial side, but we tend to be reserved with these things. And I think that's really the biggest message today is be open about it, right? Be open about it because you want to make sure you're in the right community and see the positive sides of it, right?
And enjoy it while you can.
Right.
There's so much to enjoy without going straight to, I don't know, skilled nursing.
Right.
So come
Right.
enjoy it first, and then it's really going to be helpful for your mind, body, and spirit. It really will
Absolutely.
be.
Folks, care conversations are a big deal. They are important, and we want to make sure our loved ones get the quality of care they deserve. And you have more options for care needs when you plan early, when you make decisions early, when you have these discussions well in advance. The sooner you plan, the more options you have. It just makes sense. It's true in life. It's true in financials. It's true in everything. We always talk about healthcare needs, right? Preemptive. If you can get some things in place and you get those preventative checkups, you can find things earlier on in the process. You can maybe prevent them from being significant. And we get declined as we get older. Our situations do change. We might need some assistance, and that's okay. We shouldn't be ashamed. Shouldn't be embarrassed. But you know what? When you get a little assistance, when you have a different atmosphere that's a little bit easier for you to get around, for your mom and dad to get around, for your loved ones to get around, things change. Social atmospheres make a big difference. Okay? We're social creatures. We want to enjoy it. We want to be around other people. We want to be around people that are in our same situation. It makes our brain healthy, and a healthy brain can make our bodies healthy as well. So we need to make sure our loved ones are taken care of. We need to make sure we're taken care of, and we need to make sure we plan for it in advance. A lot of times people worry, where are we going to be able to go when we get older? How are we going to get that assistance? Have that conversation and then have a financial one, because there is a cost associated with care needs. And by putting it off longer and longer and longer, the care needs get a little bit more extensive, and therefore the cost gets a little bit more expensive as well. We need to make sure we plan accordingly. We need to know what options we have, and we need to be proactive in those decisions. We need to understand our goals, our objectives, our wishes, and then figure out a good financial strategy that makes sense for our family and for our loved ones. It's important. We need to think about this stuff. It's not always comfortable. Be uncomfortable having uncomfortable conversations. Be comfortable with them. It's okay. All right. So have that conversation. Have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Serenity Now!
This is Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. Request a free copy of Chris's latest book, The New Holistic Retirement, by visiting SerenityWealthNow.com.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors, LLC.